And a peek into the locker room. Players soaking in the last few moments before the game. Some final preparations here. Welcome, everybody, to another presentation of the NBA live on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Utes. What a great front court matchup we have tonight, Legs. Do those battles look a little different from when you played?
Well, certainly there's less wrestling going on down on the block. More of these post players now want to step out and face up. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm a fan of either style.
A lot of space on the floor, that's for sure.
There's no doubt much more difficult to defend these post players with all this versatility.
And checking out the New Orleans opening lineup. Barnes is out there with Mobley, and it's King in at the 1.
He really gets in perfect position for the follow. Just a terrific read.
Well, for what he lacks in height, he more than makes up for it with his bounce.
Pass to Barnes. All alone, and that one's good.
Love that look there, locating his teammate and creating an easy basket.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's Monroe. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Last time they met was in New Orleans.
They were able to pull out a win last time because their bench came up big. It's so important to have depth on your roster.
And a credit to their front office. They wanted a more complete team, and that's exactly what we saw in that one.
5 to shoot. New Orleans needs to hurry. Late clock. They grab their own miss. Here's Mobley. Another shot. Can't get it to go. Missed his first one. Pass to Fears. And around 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Here's Monroe. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
This is why they will go to him often. He's going to take and make shots.
And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Well, if you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Pass to Ramsey. Some nice passing by New Orleans here. Here's Marks. Out to Mobley. From the arc. Clock at 4. King, the pass to Mobley. Here's Marks. He's coming off a 13-point game against Minnesota. Can't cash it in from close range.
Ooh, old school right there. No easy buckets.
And in the first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Dantley passes to Lou. Here's Fears. And he buries his first look.
Just owning the painted area. If it's working, no need to change.
Here's King. Coming off a terrific game against Minnesota. Mobley, left side. Pass to King. Here's Ramsey. Takes it inside. Utah grabs the miss. This game coming after the loss versus the Kings.
Yeah, I think they'd like to forget that game. You usually want to find some teaching moments, but in this case, it might be best to just destroy the tape.
Well, and the bottom line is they just had too many unfavorable matchups. They could never find a lineup that worked.
Here's Lou. He's guarded by Barnes. Lou passes to Monroe. Shot clock at 3. Blocked! Ooh, lots of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws will follow that whistle. Utah shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. So he gets them both. Pelicans trail by 4. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Here's Fears. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Out to the wing. Barnes a screen. Ramsey passes to King. Here's Marks. They need this. Lou with a rebound. Here's Fears. 11 points for him last game against the Kings in Sacramento. Pass to Monroe. Here's Danley. The 3 ball. Can't get his first shot of the game to fall. Pelicans trail by 6. Here's Ramsey. In his last outing, 8 points for him. Here's Marks. Fires from deep. Oh, he can't sink it. He's 0 for 3.
Yeah, no, he usually makes you pay from that range.
Pass to Fears. Here's Bass. Covered by Mobley. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
All right, Grant, when your team is in the second game of a back-to-back, do you play it differently?
You know, it depends on what happened in the first game. Did your starters have to play a lot of minutes? Did you get into double overtime? It just depends, B.A.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Well, the head coach for the Jazz gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We chatted about Scotty Barnes. In terms of the game plan, Coach told me they plan to give Scotty extra attention, saying, quote, "We'll try to make things hard on him. It's key we don't allow him to get into an early groove. We'll see if they can execute." Brian, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Allie.
It's been a rough. Quarter for him. I think patience can help. Take the shots that are there. Don't force it.
Pass to Bass. To the inside. Here's Fears. Launches it. Ooh, he's looking comfortable now. 3 for 3.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
King, the pass to Ramsey. Inside, Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
Oh, a nice slam by the swingman Barnes. His athleticism is his greatest strength.
Here's Fears. He has 7. Stolen by Mobley. Pass to Ramsey. Back to Mobley. Outside Barnes. Some nice passing by New Orleans here. Mobley, no good. Jazz leading by 9. Here's Fears. Big-time contributor on offense. Just over 22 points a game. And he banks in the layup. Fears has got 9.
Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
Well, it's just an outstanding effort thus far. They've done a great job at both ends.
Here's Ramsey. 3-pointer, no good. The Jazz have gone 6 of 9 and finding their rhythm now. Kicks it out to Barnes. The offensive rebound.
You have to defend the three-point line. They got lucky he missed that one.
Dantley passes to Lou. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call. Defense on our 2K leaderboard. Looking at the best when it comes to points per game allowed over the previous month. The Pelicans, number 1.
And they have really been focused on picking up their defensive effort, playing passing lanes, pressuring ball handlers, and trying to contest.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Monroe, giving them some good production, putting up just around 16.5 points a game. They've got Fears, and it's Bass in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Dantley gets the bucket. He's got 5.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. You love it.
And they just keep building out this lead. With each made basket, their confidence increases.
York, and right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
These teams are finding the range, showing a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he was so ready to answer that. These teams are just battling.
Here's Dantley. Shot clock at 6. Puts up a 3. And again, it's Utah with a 3.
Was starting to stretch the floor. That's 2 triples for him this quarter.
Over to the wing. Blackman passes to Mobley. Pass to King. Here's York. Beyond the arc. Bass grabs the miss. Bass has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
Here's Lou, covered by Mobley. Out to the right wing. To the wing, right side. Here's King, hovering around 19.5 points a game. His scoring has been huge for them. Knocks down the triple.
He's finally leaving that dismal first quarter behind him. Took him a while to get going.
Here's Monroe. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's King. To the right side. Right wing. Pass to York. All sorts of time. Yes, on the jumper. York's got his 3rd basket on the night right there. Jazz leading by 14. And Utah calls time here. And Legs, one thing we're seeing more of these days, head coaches who weren't necessarily high-profile guys coming in.
Well, I do think when you walk into a locker room having played before, there is a level of credibility that's automatically there. But in the age of analytics, it's probably less important that a head coach be a former NBA player.
Here's King. Drives to the hoop. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Well, they found a groove, and it's from distance, so knocking them down from the three-point land never hurts.
And I love how they've gotten to the free throw line. They've made it a point to be aggressive, and I expect that to continue.
Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. Henderson for 3. Utah grabs the miss. Bass has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
And their physical dominance has been on display. A 10-rebound advantage is a good indicator of how this game has gone.
Jazz leading by 12. Utah moving the ball around. Pass to Dantley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And another miss by Utah.
He typically dominates that area of the floor. It just didn't drop.
Here's Blackman. Now Henderson. Here's King. Here's Blackman. They get it back. Here's Mobley. Down low. Pass to Blackman. This one for three. Bass grabs the miss. Bass has got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. Here's Fears. Here's Danley, covered by Mobley. Here's Monroe to win the cold spell. That one's wide left.
And even though he couldn't send the shot back at him, he certainly altered it.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
Blackman passes to King. Pass to Blackman. The three. Utah grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at Dallas. They'll match up against the Mavericks. It'll be the front end of a 2-game road trip. Here's Fears. There's a screen. Here's Woods. Yet to see a basket. The three-pointer off the mark. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. Mobley outside. Pass to King. And here's Henderson from deep. Utah grabs the miss. Bass has got rebound number 11. Here's Monroe. Here's Danley. Over Henderson. And that's not going to go. Misses at the buzzer. And that concludes the first half. Jazz out in front. They lead by 12. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Welcome, everybody. And as we start to work our way through the season, a sneak peek at the Rookie of the Year race. This Rookie of the Year race has been fun. Solid draft class.
I think these kids have it easy, Ernie. My draft class, 87, it was stacked.
Yeah, that's right. You had no chance of making Rookie of the Year.
Wait, well, I wouldn't say that now. I was on the all-rookie team. Second.
For real?
And going back now to that first half, you could say things are going extremely well for the Jazz.
They're really hitting the ball, making a major effort. That's a big reason why they're up.
Well, as the rebounding expert on the crew, I'm giving them the O'Neal stamp of approval, which is hard to earn. Congrats, guys.
And that'll do it for us. Thanks for stopping by. We'll head back down to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the third quarter.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Utah leading by 12. It's stolen away. So the Pelicans 5 right now. We've got Barnes. He's out there with Evan Mobley. And it's King in at the point guard position. And this is his second trip to the line tonight. And he knocks down the first one. Good on both.
And that's about what we expect. He's been excellent from the line tonight.
Utah's gotten 5 of 11 threes to drop so far in this game. Here's Danley. Pass to Lou. Three-pointer. The shot by Danley, no good. Here's King. Outside Barnes. From downtown, the shot by Marks, no good.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror. Everybody will remember the bucket, but how about that pass to set it up?
Here's Mobley. Cans it from short range.
Willing passers, unselfish play. You have to appreciate this kind of offense.
Here in this third quarter, just over a minute played. Utah moving the ball around. Here's Lou. Fades away and sinks a tough shot. Lou's got 10.
Adds to their lead. They've been able to rely on him all night.
Here's King. He's got 6. Over to the wing. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. King's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's done a great job filling up the box score, but so far it just hasn't been enough. He needs help.
Stolen by Mobley. Here's King. Give him 8 points now. Pass to Barnes. Clock at 6. Here's King. Back to Barnes. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Lou's shot is good. He's got 12.
They are passing the ball around tremendously right now.
New Orleans calls timeout. And if you're looking for proficiency in scoring over the last month, look no further than this group. Evan Mobley is second.
One of the hottest players in the league. He's been really sharp from the field recently.
Pass to Marks. Here's King. Pulls up, high post. Drained it for 2 points.
Third quarter off to a great start offensively. That's 3 of their first 4 they've made.
Out to the right wing. Here's Lou. He's guarded by Barnes. Monroe, the pass to Lou. Here's Spears. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Well, the way this game is going, I'm actually not surprised it was that easy for him.
Out to the right wing. Here's Ramsey. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Inside, here's Lou, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
What a two-way play. Just tremendous.
Yeah, the steal was slick. The slam topped it off.
What a great sequence. You gotta love the effort. That's big time.
And playing very well here in the second half. I mean, their shooting percentage is now over 50% from the field.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Thanks a lot. Commissioner Adam Silver was asked about the wildest ideas thrown around in the league office. He said, quote, one thing that's been discussed is potentially 2 free throws for a foul on a 3-point shot. I don't think we'd do it in the last 2 minutes of the game, but that's something interesting. Guys?
Not a bad idea. Okay, Allie, thanks a lot. Pass to Lou. Here's Bass, covered by Mobley. Here's Danley. Pulls up on the wing. Fear's shot is off.
Oh, and he's a very good mid-range shooter, but the defense was all over him there, making that a very difficult shot.
King, the pass to Barnes. Here's King. 10 points for him. Pass to Ramsey. He tries for 3. Bass grabs the miss. Utah leading by 15. Here's Spears. Driving inside, lays it up and banks it in. Fears has got 14.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
Incredible. It sometimes falls to the point guard to be the offensive catalyst.
Seems like he always knows when his squad needs a lift.
It was an aggressive move that could change momentum.
Pass to Danley. Here's Fears. And it's going to be a 24-second violation. They turn it over. Here's what Utah has lined up on their schedule. On Tuesday, they head out on the road to face the Mavericks in Dallas. And then on Thursday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Atlanta to take on the Hawks.
And for that game against the Spurs, it's going to be a hard-fought battle. You just hope they are able to execute their game plan as it should be a close one.
Pass to Monroe, takes the three, nails it from 3. 10 points for him. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Yeah, they've done a great job of challenging every shot they can. Their totals in the block column are a result of that aggression.
I've been really impressed with how intense their defense has been. They are picking up steals left and right, which is disrupting their opponent's rhythm.
Here's Fears. Ooh, he's found his rhythm. 7 for 10 and counting.
He drops yet another dime, just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
Pass to Suggs. Here's King. He's got 12. Now here's Suggs. King, the pass to Suggs. And they turn it over. Shot clock violation as the buzzer sounds.
Substitution on the court.
Pelicans trail by 17. And it's Woods in at the 4. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Here's King, defended by Hardaway. Blackman. Ooh, the lead pass was in the perfect spot to set up the layup. Blackman's got his first points of the night.
That's a great look. His teammate was on the move, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Pass to Timmerman. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by New Orleans.
And they're winning this game despite his difficulties at the offensive end.
For 3, Powell counted from distance.
Good heads-up basketball. Sees an opening and capitalizes.
Here's Hardaway. He got a piece of it. Right wing. Here's York. Second chance shot. Pass to Peters. Good on the bucket.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Utah leading by 10. Here's Lou. Hardaway from outside. Not going to go that time.
Yeah, it's been a tough game for him with his shooting. Fortunately, the rest of the team has picked him up, and they have the lead.
He's as surprised as we are. Most nights, that bucket is automatic.
Pass to Lou. 6 to shoot. Here's Woods. The 3. Pelicans cleared away. Kings got 6 rebounds now in the game. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Utah has gone 0 for 3 here in the 4th. Back to Hardaway. Pass to Lou. Utah moving the ball around. Here's Timmerman. Here's Woods. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Fears. He's checked in for Hardaway. Pelicans trail by 10. Over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the 4th. To the inside. And York gets it to go.
This is anyone's game now, and they have the momentum.
In order to cut into a lead the way that they have, you must be outstanding on both ends.
Timeout, Jazz.
Timeout.
They're just giving away a run right now. The question is, can they stop the tide?
Well, let's pump the brakes right here. Put a Band-Aid on this, and you've got to turn it around. The momentum is going the other way.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to the Jazz coach address his team. And they told the team, let's keep doing what we're doing. We're up. Do not forget that. They told their team to just relax, to have fun, and to finish this one out. We'll see if they do, guys.
Okay, thanks, Allie. Utah leading by 8. Here's Woods. To the wing on the left. Here's Lou. Now covers. From deep three-point land. It's tipped. Well, there's the shot clock violation. So they'll turn it over. A little over 3.5 minutes in the books now in this fourth quarter. To the middle. Here's York. Banked it in off the glass. York's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're really working the paint now.
For Utah, they've got nothing to go so far in the fourth. They're 0 for 6. Pass to Lou. Here's Timmerman. They get back on track, and down it goes. 2 points. And the Jazz lead by 8.
And there's really no such thing as a safe lead. I mean, this is still anyone's game.
Here's King. Off with the layup.
And they've committed to controlling the boards, and it's paying dividends.
Pelicans foul.
And the Pelicans making a change here.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Here's Monroe. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Fears. To the left wing. Here's Jovic. Sinks the tray. Jovic has got his first 3 points of the game.
And let's face it, when you're down this many points, you simply can't let them get that good of a look.
One more miscommunication at the defensive end. Just brutal. It can't happen.
Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
They've still got work to do, but it's impressive how they've battled back.
And they've made some big plays to get back in it. This game is a toss-up now.
Bass, he's checked in for Jovic. Here's Monroe. Pass to Fears. Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end. You gotta love it. And that was just moving the ball quickly. And he's rewarded at the end with a high percentage look.
And they are showing you why it's so important to get up the floor before the defense can set themselves.
To the paint. And now New Orleans on the break. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more. Tim, with his agility and that 7'3" wingspan, Scotty Barnes can guard virtually anyone.
Well, because he's got the combination, Brian, of lateral quickness and physicality. He is great at the point of attack and fighting through screens. Just a top-shelf defender.
Here's Lou. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Nice one-handed jam. Simple and effective.
Hey, with the lead, I'm surprised he didn't come up with something a little more creative. King, the pass to Ramsey. Here's King. Six on the shot clock. Inside. Barnes. Barnes gets it to go inside.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
Pass to Lou. To the left side wing. Here's Danley, defended by Henderson. Jacks up a three. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Kings got rebound number 7 tonight. To the middle. Here's Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
Yeah, exceptional job. Barnes just diving towards the open area off the pick.
Utah leading. Here's Monroe. Pass to Danley. They set the pick. Lets the three fly. They get it back. And a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket.
Those are the kind of effort plays that endear you to the coaches, your teammates, and these fans.
King, pass to Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
Well, defensively, you can't allow that in a game this close.
Pass to Danley. Here's Lou. He's guarded by Barnes. And they call an illegal screen here.
It's been a struggle for him in the second half. A lot of turnovers.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from deep in this quarter. Down low. Here's Peters, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Yeah, there was a lack of intensity in the first half, but these teams have now turned it up.
Well, the margin for error is getting smaller, so the stakes on each possession are getting bigger.
Smart play call to get him something at the rim.
He is in attack mode every time up the floor, every single night.
Another possession, another assist. The chemistry he has with his guys is impressive.
I mean, keeping his head on a swivel, actively seeking out his teammates, incredible.
Pass to Lou. Utah moving the ball around. Here's Spears. Good, and that basket makes him 8 for 14 for the game.
And that was the right decision. When you're in need of a bucket, you go to your most trusted guys.
Yeah, when you're coming down the stretch, you don't want any wasted possession.
The Pelicans trail. Here's King. Barnes a screen. Yes, sir! The finish with the jam!
Oh my, just what they needed. Barnes with a crucial burst of offensive energy.
Here's Lou. Can't hit it.
Well, he is showing you that rebounding isn't all about size. You need will and effort.
Here's King. Barnes. Oh, the slam off a fantastic lead pass. What a play.
They fought so hard to get themselves in a position to win this game.
Well, they've shown great determination, and that speaks to the overall character of this team. Yeah, a lot of pressure in this situation. Not easy to convert those free throws.
Here's Lou. From downtown. Oh, it doesn't go. The Pelicans lead by 3. They are looking really strong offensively.
Yeah, just terrific momentum. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Here's Mobley. Oh, he jammed it.
And since the break, they have looked like a completely different team, especially on offense, where they're really cooking right now.
A minute 20 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Danley. Takes a 3. Booyah! He sinks the triple.
This is what it's been since halftime. Remarkable results from downtown.
They have found a weakness in the defense, and it's on their ability to defend the three-point line.
Here's Ramsey. That's all.
And he's doing things on the glass tonight that we don't often see.
Yeah, no question about it. It feels like every missed shot is ending up in his hands. Unreal.
Wow. That takes steady nerves right there.
Completely unfazed by what's at stake. That's just clutch.
Now Barnes. And again, another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
He's doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
Timeout, Jazz. What do you think Coach will be drawing up here?
A chance to tie it up here.
Well, there's no room for error here. They need to draw up something that they can execute quickly.
Here's Danley. To take the lead. Oh, off target from downtown. And they committed intentional foul. We'll see another one of those, so they get into the penalty.
Yeah, no, you had to do that. I mean, can't allow them to dribble out the time.
And so it's the Pelicans who come out on top here. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown fans.
They really should take this win to heart. When the pressure was on, they stepped up and worked twice as hard to overcome it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For reporter Allie LaForce and for Tim Legler and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying,
to the guards rest, colored my guest. Can it be out of state? Try to me. I should have stayed in Job Corps, and now I'm an outlaw. Break it to the dedicated.